Right, good morning again to my wonderful Year 2 law students. Today is Sunday, April 16, 2023, which happens to be the last day of the Easter holiday. So looking forward to seeing you all on Monday the 17th. Today's topic is mens rea from the Year 1 law textbook. It's only a quick overview. All the essential information will be in the textbook, so please remember to refer to that. Mens rea simply is the guilty mind, and as we know, an offence is not committed until there's proof beyond reasonable doubt that the defendant has committed both the actus reus and the mens rea, and they have no excuse or defence. So if we start off by having a quick overview of the different types of mental elements involved in criminal offences, you have intention, you also have knowledge, you have negligence, and I think for serious offences, then proving intention is essential. Two types of intentions then. We have direct intention, that's fairly straightforward. It's where the defendant wants to bring about the prohibited result. They aim and do everything they can within their power to bring about the bad result. That's direct intention. And as we know, you're hardly going to get any assessment questions based on direct intention. Indirect or oblique intention, however, has been a little bit more challenging in terms of understanding what it is. And applying that to real case scenarios. So indirect intention is where the defendant foresees that their conduct is virtually certain to bring about the prohibited consequence, and that's confirmed in the case of Woolen. Historically, don't forget Section 8 of the Criminal Justice Act, and also the cases of Maloney, Hancock and Shankland, and Nedrick. And these are all essential cases that built up or developed the meaning of indirect intention. And now we have Woolen confirming that the jury may find intention if all the evidence shows that the defendant realised that their behaviour was virtually certain to bring about the prohibited consequence. Right, now in terms of the different types of intention, if we start off historically with objective recklessness under Caldwell, this is where, and before that very quickly, recklessness is simply taking an unjustified risk. There are two types. There is objective recklessness and there is subjective recklessness, but I have to emphasize that there is no longer objective recklessness. That's gone now, and we only have subjective recklessness. But Caldwell, recklessness is simply where the defendant's behaviour is compared to that of an objective person. But now that's gone. Cunningham, 1957, is a good case to confirm that subjective recklessness is where you have to identify whether the defendant themselves realised that they were doing the wrong thing. What else about mens rea? I suppose we can quickly talk about transferred malice, and that's where the defendant aims to hit, for example, victim A, but misses and hits victim B. The intention, and I think it's important that students remember that it's the mens rea that's transferred from the intended victim to the actual victim. And you've got cases such as Pemberton and Nango, good cases to confirm the definition of transferred malice. The other point to think about in terms of mens rea in general is to do with continuing acts. I'm just trying to remember the relevant point here. So yeah, to do with continuing acts, and don't forget the case of Fagan. And the point I was trying to make earlier on was to do with coincidence of actus reus and mens rea. So don't forget, it's very important that the actus reus and the mens rea must coincide. So refer to cases such as church, and also you've got the case of I've forgotten the policeman case, but anyway, I'm sure you'll have a look at that case, and hopefully you should be able to remember that one. And then you've also got the case of Thabo Mbeki. Fagan is the early case I was trying to remember, but there has to be coincidence of actus reus and mens rea. So in a nutshell, and sorry this has been a bit of a rambling video, but mens rea is all about the guilty mind. There are two types of intention. There's direct and indirect. Indirect is where the defendant foresees that their behavior is virtually certain to bring about the prohibited consequence. The case of Woolen is vital for that. Don't forget transferred malice, to do with where you aim to hit B, but you accidentally hit C, for example. The mens rea is transferred to the actual victim. And don't forget, there's always the need for coincidence of actus reus and mens rea. And sometimes the actus reus happens first, and then the mens rea coincides, or the mens rea happens first, and then the actus reus happens after that. So that's a quick video, and the last video for the Easter series. I hope you've been revising hard. We're back on the 17th of April, so a lot more revision to do before we start the exams in late May. I hope you've had a fantastic Easter break, and I'll see you tomorrow, Monday the 17th. Good morning.